One of, if not the main point of controversy surrounding Jujutsu Kaisen is its ending. The manga has now ended, but many people despise its ending, with some fans even attempting to make their own Jujutsu no Kaisen. But why? The answer is one singular character, one fan favourite, one Satoru Gojo, the self-proclaimed strongest. But this can't be true for one reason. Chapter 236. Half of Gojo's body is seen lying, lifeless on the ground, bleeding from the mouth and lower chest, with his legs, the only part of his body, still standing up to Ryumen Sukuna, the strongest in history. The so-called strongest can't just be beaten so easily. It must be some sort of trick. It wasn't just a cheap fake-out, something to excite the reader, no. Up until the manga's recent end, Gojo never truly returned, with the closest thing being Yuta using Kenjaku's technique to take over Gojo's corpse and using his abilities. The fans were not happy. Throughout the entire show and manga, it is drilled into the viewers and readers' heads that Gojo is the strongest. Heck, even his mere existence shifted the balance of the world of Jujutsu, and as a child, he had a bounty of over 100 million on his head. It was clear from the start that Gojo wasn't just arrogant and cocky. His regular shows of strength and skill proved himself right, and he was the real deal. So obviously people were set by his defeat. First of all, the fight was a 3v1, with Sukuna utilising the help of Mahoraga and some random curse that literally no one remembers, he's irrelevant. But the pro-Gojo debaters used this as an excuse as to why Gojo lost. Personally, I think that this argument is invalid, as Gojo had many powerful students and allies that he could have used to help him. But on the contrary, the whole point was that Gojo went into the fight to try to protect his students. And also, Nanami states in the manga that the vast majority of sorcerers would slow Gojo down and be a liability to him. So yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I don't really know where I stand on this. Whether you agree or not with the fact that Gojo had to fight alone, you will agree that Gege, the creator of the manga, did all he could to justify putting Gojo in an unfair fight. Because, let's be real, the uproar would be so much worse and stronger if Gojo lost fair one-on-one. Another way in which Gojo had to die is purely from a writer's standpoint, as after Gojo's defeat, the story continues and shows the development of many of Gojo's promising students and their struggle to defeat Sukuna, with them eventually succeeding in chapter 268, and the end of Yuji's arc as the main character has always been brimming with potential. Let's say Gojo survives and beats Sukuna. What happens now? Any element of excitement or anxiety in a strong new opponent is instantly quenched, as Gojo will deal with them, and Gojo will solo. This is also why Gojo had to be taken out of action in Shibuya, as it created consequences, and the slightly weaker characters got more of the limelight and more battle time. Like bro, Nanami, as a grade 1 sorcerer, had so much to do, and so many battles to fight, and this resulted in his demise. Rip Nanami, one of my favourites. Whereas if Gojo was there, Nanami wouldn't have had to do so much, and wouldn't have died. In Gojo's absence, the characters were forced to develop, and become stronger. And you know, I'd much rather hear a story about people getting stronger and improving themselves than a story about one naturally gifted guy who's just much better than everyone else. Look at Yuji or Yuta. They had arcs to fill and development to be had. Let me ask you, after Gojo's awakening in the second round of his fight against Toji, where could his character go? I like to think of one of the Green Goblin's quotes. I chose my path, you chose the way of the hero, and they found you amusing for a while, the people of the city. But the one thing they love more than a hero is to see a hero fail, fall, die trying. In spite of everything you've done for them, eventually they will hate you. A less than modest character like Gojo is good in moderation, but too much of him will quickly become tiresome, and I'm glad we left him at a point where he's still widely liked. He never would have worked as a more prominent character, and his death, while some can't see, was inevitable. On Megami though. His sister dies, his real dad is a deadbeat, and dies twice. His adopted dad Gojo is better, but also dies. His body's taken over and used, like pro, give him a break. I admire Akutami for his choice, as he made it purely for the good of the story, and didn't cave in because of the hate. And I think we need more appreciation for this, as he could have made the easy choice to let Gojo win, but he didn't.